This is the beautiful gamepad here on the Lithium Project channel, and this is Football Kingdom Trial Edition by Namco from 2004. So when I started doing this little series, whenever that was, seems like it was a while ago now, during the duration or during the course of it, there was a post or an article, wherever it was that I read about it, about an English patch for a game called Football Kingdom Trial Edition, which obviously piqued my interest because, like, hey, the more kind of weird and wonderful and obscure football games I can find, the better it will be for what we're doing here. We're going to get a demonstration. Lovely. So I had a very kind of quick look into that. Picked up the. I feel like I'm at 30 FPS anyway. And so I picked it up. I found it. There's a really great community of people that are doing this sort of thing with Japanese games and getting English patches across all different types of games from all different types of eras, which is incredible. And so I picked this up. And then, haven't really dived into it too much. I did a quick little bit of research just to kind of look at, like, okay, what is this thing? But that's it. Because I wanted to go into this kind of as blind as possible. Because this is really interesting. You know, this is kind of like the GTA 3 or 4 prologue. That was like the kind of trial version for what would eventually become like the full release. And that's kind of the thing about this game, is it's not a full release, which I don't know if that'll factor into my ranking or my oh, we don't even actually get football, we just get the introductions and whatnot. All right, let's just dive into this. So yeah, so there's an English patch, which obviously just means that navigating menus becomes that much more manageable, and not that it's impossible to get through to the just to start a match, because I think I've played a couple of Japanese games now, and we've managed to actually get to the crux of it. But it is nice when you have the ability to actually like dive into it, because obviously as you get further into the generations, settings and like main menu UI becomes far more complex, and there's more options and whatnot. Excuse me. What do we have? We don't need to change anything. I've not looked to actually see. I've seen a couple of videos that are people just playing this game. I've not really seen too much around the actual history and the development of this game and why it didn't become like a full release. Because by this point, we still had, and this is 2004, so we've still got stuff like This Is Football. We'd still get that weird series of like club football games where there was like one game that had like, here's the Aston Villa version and here's the Inter Milan version, blah 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 blah. So there were still games that were outside of the EA PES sphere. But even by like 2004, those titles had like reduced dramatically. So yeah, I wonder why just if Namco decided this isn't for us. I don't know. Very interesting. Let's crack into a match anyway. While I do live for my kingdom, we'll just jump into an exhibition match. Ooh, we have like actual kind of configuration of stuff that I don't know what any of it does. So, we'll go with semi in defense, I guess, and hope for the best. Ireland v England. That could be fun. Can I pick the stadium? I don't think I can. Yes, I can. We got Long Visit Street, Satima Stadium, 2002. I guess we're post the 2002 World Cup at this point. That's a very late 90s Britpop guitar tone if I've ever heard one. I guess there was a bit of kind of garage rock in that sort of Britpop guitar sound before garage rock. That's a conversation for another day. Trafalgar Midland Stadium. That's the one. That is the one. So yeah, if anyone does know, yeah. Oh, we got real names. Well, we sort of do. Oh, no, isn't this? Or Spam. I'm guessing you have Stam. So, and that's not Clivert. Okay, well the English team is correct at least. But I guess maybe that's just to do the patch translation. I don't know. Yeah, if anyone does know anything about this game, its development, why? Fucking, we'll go Final Fantasy for a second. That's the thing about Japanese football games, you know. There's a different vibe and a different aura to them that I do really appreciate. Because, you know, admittedly, I do come from a very Eurocentric perspective when it comes to football games. Of course, I am from fucking Europe. And so I've never really dived into the Japanese culture for soccer and the J League and that kind of stuff. You know, any consumption I've had has just come from the football games. And even then, that's really been from the actual PAL releases. So they're not, I guess, as kind of full-flavored, full-bodied in their Japanese-ness, for fucking lack of a better term. Now, is that grid thing at the top there? Is that something we're gonna have to deal with? Graphics look good. Yep, that's definitely Beckham. That's definitely Skulls. Okay, weird why the grid was there. Maybe that's the... Don't know why it was. Those shadows are a bit fucked as well, but look, whatever. Camera set. We can zoom. We've got... That's actually quite a nice view, actually. Yeah. Want to see as much of the match as possible. Oh, that cursor's weird. I forgot I was Holland. Alright. Got a through ball. Can't tell if R1 is... So obviously the question's here, are we using a PES format? Well, that's a nice font. That's a nice font on the set piece thingamajig. Oh, sorry, out of this ball. My bad. Yeah, I think circle's crossed. I think square is the kick. L1 is to change character. I say character, not player or footballer. This feels really good, off the bat. The cursor is a really interesting choice, because obviously, it helps you aim. I need to play with it a bit to see, how accurate that actually is. Oh, a bit too late there. Interesting enough, I wanted to pass that character, and it didn't, and I feel like the aim was on, but it might have been because he was offside, that the game sort of detected that. And I'm curious if that's got to do with, the semi-auto manual thing. If that's a passing specific function. Nah. You know, it definitely does have a PES tendency to it, which is not entirely surprising. Yes, Namco and Konami are two different studios, but I'm sure Namco were looking at Konami when they were making this. And it could also just be that this just feels quite nice to play after that fucking Marcel Desailly abomination that we played last time. Alright, you gonna have a shot or what? Come on, mate. Don't toy around. Gerard. That was racist. Don't do that, Mark. Let's get across him. Oh, I need to get a shot on target. See how the shooting feels. But early impressions, this feels like, you know, I have no idea where they were in regards to how much of the game was left to develop, but this already feels really solid. And yeah, I guess it is a shame that this this didn't get a full release. Maybe Namco felt that like they were too far removed from the World Cup to like fully capitalize on it in terms of sales. Who knows? Trying to think of like what other Namco titles were at the time. I mean, Tekken 5 was pretty sure that was a 2005 release. Maybe they were like, hey, we need people to move over to that. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Oh! But, like, you know, the billboards have got actual... Shoot, Gerard. They've got actual, you know, companies. We've got Vodafone on here. We've got Psycho. Fujifilm. Tower Records. What the fuck? So, who knows? Maybe, again, maybe that's, like, English patch translation stuff. Come on. Oh. Yeah, that was all that's. Now, the one thing that I was told about this game going in, really good net physics. Yeah, they're pretty nice. All you gotta do is just, you know, take your net, slap a subdivision on it by 1,000, and away you go. They're very netty. I'll give them that. They're very netty. God. Remember when our front line was Heskey and Owen? Fucking hell. Excuse me. Like, we're getting into the formative years of Rooney popping up, but... Oh! But, yeah, fucking... Emil Heskey. What an enigma. Oh, that was close. The crowd is a bit lacking, but, you know, again, this is the trial version, so... Things like that do go into the, alright, what are the last bits of polish we got left to do? But as an actual game, in terms of, like, the movement, the physics, like, this feels pretty complete. And even if it's not complete, this is still better than a significant portion of the fucking things I've played on this series. I just can't get over... Is that, like, the... I feel like that's the driver font, for anyone who remembers that game. Or at least, it's got a kind of like 70s detective sort of Starsky and Hutch vibe to it. Which again, only a Japanese developer would go for like that kind of font. And the way it kind of fades in, like you just don't see that combination in any other football game. Like usually, like you see it a lot with like the mid-90s ones where they're using some sort of fucking wacky rotation zoom in type of thing. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. First sneeze on one of these? Who knows? I'm going to guess that's not Barry Davis on commentary. Alright, come on, let's just... That... well, that was not a shot. What the fuck was that? Nope. Oh, what a corner, what a header. The pint-sized powerhouse strikes again. Man, that is textbook. Don't know what the fuck Spam is doing there. Like, have you seen Yap Stam and Michael Owen next to each other? Stam should be getting that 99% of the time, and I guess that was the 1%. Ah, come on. So yeah, there's a bit of hitching. This is emulated, so that can happen. I'm not going to put that on the game. I think I'm so used to playing games that don't have a cursor, which is like every other fucking football game, that I feel like I should be paying a little bit more attention to how the cursor works. Well, not how it works, but where it's aiming. Because I think I haven't really been doing that. And so I've kind of been wondering, like, why is my pass not going where I want it to? And it's because I'm just not using the cursor correctly. Ah, he read that like a book. Read that. Yeah. As soon as I passed that, I was like, should have just crossed it, Mark. What are you doing? This is how I like to start my Saturday, you know? I've had my breakfast, I've taken my cod liver oil tablets, and then after this, I'm going to make a cup of tea, and then I've got a solid day of working on the prototype for my next game. But there's always a bit of time to play football. Such is my life at the moment. Hashtag blessed. But I am curious as well, again, you know, for anyone else. And thank you for the comments and everything. Like, it's and the new subscribers. It's nice to see that, like, posting videos actually does get a bit of a response. So thank you to everyone who's been active. But yeah, I'm curious if, like, anyone picked up this when the patch translation was announced, or just had, like, the Japanese version. You know, it definitely feels like one of those... One for the hipsters, you know? Like, oh, you like PES? Well, I like Football Kingdom. You know, I feel like you can't get more hipster than that. But, like, to the ignorant, like myself, the most immediate obvious comparison is that it does have a very large amount of kind of like PES in it, and meant, you know, fully as a compliment. Why are you not shooting though? Like, that's the shoot button, right? That's the one thing I've not really been able to kind of lock in yet. I might actually go to the practice mode after and check, because, like, I've been holding. There we go. Okay, so it is shoot. But I'm curious if there's like something specific to it that I need to look into. And something I guess I've kind of like I've not considered is like during most of these games that I've played is the AI and how responsive it is, how smart it is, and the AI is like really locked on here in terms of its movement, in terms of how it. Because I have to imagine like AI in a football game is actually like probably one of the more challenging things to make that feel realistic and fair. Oh, well, that was on target. Oh, this fucking... Who is it in goal? Is it David James? Yeah, it's interesting to think about it, and I've not really done too much kind of thought about it, because why would I? But when I really think about England during the aughts, like there's obviously, you know, individual parts of the pitch where it's brilliance, but it's still just it never felt like a complete team, and obviously it never fucking played like a complete team. Now with that said, Owen Hargreaves, my boy. Alright, can we like curve? Can we Daya. I do remember, like, I was very excited about Owen Hargreaves coming to Manchester United, just because the idea of an English player coming from Germany to play in England, you know, that's not as like the like English players playing in foreign leagues obviously has happened, but there's a bit more of a prevalence these days. Like the idea of Marcus Rashford going to Barcelona, even though he was only the second English player ever to do it, it still doesn't feel as much of a as a shock, just because, you know, like Jude Bellingham and I guess now Joe Bellingham, and like the likes of Harry Kane playing in Germany. And I wonder if a lot of that is just to do with like the sort of like English tax, like the idea of another football team in England paying for Harry Kane. Although I'm pretty sure didn't Munich pay 100 million? It was somewhere up there. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. Let's try a little bit of this practice mode just to see if I can get a little bit more kind of tuned in with the controls. But I do like this. This is very, very polished. All right. Oh, okay. So it's not actually a practice mode. It's just right. Actually, is this it? I don't. I might have not actually got the English patch. This might just be the actual game itself. But I see square, so square is how you shoot. So. Let's just do some free training. And also let's... Oh, my cat's screaming. Hello, Mocha. Yeah, how you doing? Thanks for screaming into the microphone. Yeah. Right, I do see Etu. Although I think it's Eto. It's only like ETO, isn't it? You've already been fed this morning, so I don't know what you want. Actually, I guess it's almost coming up to lunchtime already. No, I fed you like 2 hours ago. Honestly, cats. So yeah, we'll just do a little bit of practice with the shooting, and then I might just come back to this in my own time. Actually, I might throw it onto the Steam Deck, and play a bit there. But I do want to fully lock it. Or where's the camera routine then? Just a keeper? All right. Easy as that. I like there's like the drink flasks either side of the goal. That's just a little touch. Wait, what the fuck? Look at that. I did not think we'd be playing on the set of Metal Gear Solid 3. Alright. See, when you haven't got to deal with another team, shooting and scoring becomes significantly easier, funnily enough. Alright, let's see if there's like other buttons you can press that, isn't there like L1 and shoot does the kind of like lob? Try that. No, that's a flat pass, flat shot. So if you hold down R2, it actually kind of stops you on the spot. And you can do this little jig, which I am a big fan of. You can't actually even pass. It literally just locks you onto the spot. That's really... No, you can't do anything. I can't... Can I fake it? Oh, okay, so you can do some stuff. What the fuck are you doing, boys? I don't know what the Adidas ball nonsense. Why it's doing? Oh, I thought. So I thought that was doing that as a way with the cross to say no, you can't shoot like this. But then I was pressing it again; it was happening. No, obviously, it's where do you want to kick the ball? You fucking imbecile, Mark. Honestly. Right, and then that's how you get the curves in. Jesus. Okay, all right, all makes sense now. God, you're such an idiot sometimes, Mark. Oh, right. And yeah, and then you can whip in a curve like that, right? Although that was like a sort of outside of the boot shot to get that in, to get the curve in. Yeah, I've never really seen that much in games where you have the ability to just kind of stop on the spot. You can't pass, you can't through ball, so is it just... Can you only do it while you're like rotating around? That's... Oh, nearly. Curious, very curious. Yeah, I guess because you're a right-footed player, so I need to kind of accommodate for that. So we want to sort of whip it away from the goal, almost. Oh, didn't do much there, but look, you know, the intention was true. Oh, nice. That was a skull shot, all right. Yeah, this now all makes like more sense once you actually. Funnily enough, in practice mode, you kind of like figure some stuff out. Keeper's insane though, Jesus. Yeah, I think it's just a lob. All right, we no, we got that. We got that down. Okay. Yeah. The football rankings it is. Oh, drag you over here. All right, so yeah, so spoiler alert, we're going to do Chris Kamara Street Soccer at some point, but I did want to start with this because I felt like this was a much more compelling title, funnily enough. Football Kingdom Trial Edition. What do we do with you? You're technically not a full title, but you are easily one of the. I mean, you're in the top 10. That goes without question. It really is a crying shame that you're not a full release. You know, it would be fascinating to think about like how that game would have stood the test of time. Would it have become a kind of third player in the EA Konami football war? Probably not. I feel like Football Kingdom is a great Japanese title, but I feel like that, you know, in the way that Winning 11 was changed to Pro Evo Soccer, I feel like its Western release, if it had one, would probably have had a different title. But yeah, it's a shame. It's very much a shame. I feel like it probably would have impacted Konami more than FIFA, you know, like, because this is so much more of a PES sim style game. I feel like it could only really have hurt PES by like fracturing some of that player base. To how much, who knows? But yeah, where do we put you on here? Because there's a little bit of me kind of playing with my head and my heart here. Because I'd probably say that this is better than FIFA Street, but there's a purity, there's an arcadiness to FIFA Street that I always appreciate. But I do think this is better. But again, it's just a trial edition. Like, do I want to be that much of a hipster? Of course I want to be that much of a fucking hipster. Come on now. So I definitely would put you above 2010 FIFA World Cup South Africa. And I think the thing with this as well is it kind of speaks to like, I think the more I play it, the more I would get into like the nuances of how it plays. Would I put you above ISS Soccer 64? Yep, that's exactly what that is. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. This could be the toughest one yet. What do we think, folks? It's either I go fucking mad with this and like put this above Sega Soccer Slam, which I don't think in my head or my heart I'm really willing to do. I think just to not go completely mad, and again, because it's just a trial game, but it is still exceptional for what it is. I think I'll sneak you just above 2010, and I'll put you in the 5th slot. I think that feels fair. Yeah, I like that. That is a cracking five games. That is exceptional stuff. That's what I like. It's again for me, you know, with a bunch of these games that I've not played, I'd never even heard of. I mean, I'd heard of Virtua Striker, but I don't think I'd really properly played it. Or Sega Soccer Slam. I had played ISS 64, but only in passing. And then yeah, Football Kingdom Trial Edition. So that's a real. If I was to stop this today, I'd be very happy with that top 5. But we still have many more games to go, so we'll leave it there for now. Yeah, please tell me if you've had any experiences playing this before, or if you know anything about its history. I'd be very curious to know. I am uploading this to a website where I can probably go and find that kind of information, so hey, maybe I'll do that as well. But I'll leave that for now. So as always, I'm Living Project. This is the Beautiful Gamepad. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Cheers.